I think it worked.
Oh, oh,
Can you
Perfect.
hear us?
I can.
Oh, good.
stellar.
Yeah. So did that link work? Is that how that was that what happened?
Yeah. Yeah, we had to go to the next link that you sent,
Okay.
redirected us to our Google Plus. We were doing it through the Hangouts app, so I wonder if that was the problem.
It
Our iPad. I don't
I've
know.
never done it with the iPad, so I'm not sure. So at
Okay.
least we got it going. So we are live right now. We have 0 viewers, so it's all good.
All about to change, though.
That's right. That's right.
Because of us, no.
So I just all I need to do is just get my GarageBand set up so that we can record the show.
Sure.
So tell me again where you guys are from?
Kelowna, BC, in
Okay.
Canada.
Yeah.
All right.
Hmm.
And you're in the same time zone I am, right? I'm near Seattle.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
are. We're just above you.
Okay. How far are you guys from Seattle?
6 hours?
Yeah.
About a
6 hour
6 hour
drive.
drive.
It's in the Okanagan.
Okay.
I think
All
they
right.
have the Okanagan. They still call it the Okanagan on your side of the border, I think.
I think they do, yeah. Common Valley.
Well, cool. Cool. When I was a kid, I used to go on vacation up in I think it was called Lake of Soyuz.
Oh, yeah.
Yep,
We're just north of that.
Okay. Great. Great.
not too far.
I'm just about ready here. I just get channel 1 set up.
Sure.
Can I put this down? Is that going to bother you?
Yeah, it is.
All right, and it's Jessica and Andy, is that correct?
That's right.
All right, very good. What's the name of your business?
Jessica and Andy Studios.
Okay.
It's very original.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Perfect. All right, one last thing. We're almost ready here. Okay. We're going to get going on the podcast here. I'm going to hit record. I'm going to say, how you guys doing? And then we'll just jump right into those questions, and
Alright.
we'll just make it as organic as possible and just have a good time. Sound good?
Yep, sounds good.
All right. Okay, welcome to the show. I have with me this evening Jessica and Andy from Jessica and Andy Studio. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Fantastic.
Warm.
So, for those of the people that aren't watching the live stream right now, or that may not see this on YouTube, can you tell us why you are sitting in your car?
We're homeless.
Homeless photographers. No. We have young kids, so we just needed to get out of the house. Otherwise, it's too risky that they're going to interrupt.
I absolutely love this, by the way. I think it's just totally awesome. So,
Well, that's good.
thank you guys so much for taking the time away from the little ones to spend a little bit of time with me tonight. Let's just jump right into this. What's your guys' background with photography? How did you get into it? Yeah, just where did it all start?
Started in 2008. We got our first DSLR and, started just playing around with that. I had a marketing company at the time, and a couple of our clients needed some advertising photos done. And so that's kind of where we got our start, was with that, taking photos for them for their marketing materials. So that was the beginning of it. And then, from there, we took some online courses and studied some books, but primarily just self-taught, and just started getting experience doing different types of photos for people that we knew closely.
Well, that was more how Jessica started. I just loved going to a park and taking pictures of bugs and stuff. And that's just kind of how it just grew from there, from a bug to a leaf to a tree.
Why not a person then?
Yeah.
All right. So basically, so you're looking at since 2008 when you basically got into photography, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the year.
All right. What's your guys' main niche right now? What are you guys shooting mostly? Is it portraits, weddings, all the above?
Just weddings. That's it.
Just weddings. That's it.
That's it.
And engagements. That too.
Okay. All right. And is it keeping you guys pretty busy?
It is. We're not full-time busy at it this year because only a year and a half ago did we decide weddings is what we loved the most and we were going to focus on. And so, once you've decided that this is your niche, you have to actually restructure your business around that. So that's been a year-long journey for us. So we're just to the point now where bookings for next year are coming in quite steady. So I think next year will be the busy year for us.
Yeah.
But we do have quite a few this one as well.
Okay, and are you guys? The name of the company's Jessica and Andy, right? So are you guys basically just kind of tag teaming these weddings together?
Yep, we're doing them together all the time,
Yeah.
and then we bring an assistant along as well.
Yeah, so we both shoot, and then we just have an assistant doing whatever he's doing.
Okay, tell me what kind of gear do you guys like to use? Are you Canon, Nikon?
We're Canon. Yeah, so we have a 1DS, the 5D Mark III, 5D Mark II, 7D is our camera bodies that we have. And then obviously a selection of lenses as well that we shoot with.
What's your
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Don't forget, we do use lighting. It's a hot topic right now.
Sure. What's your kind of bread and butter lens for weddings?
For me, the 70 to 200. I know everybody says that, but you do use it a lot. It's just very versatile. We've got the 2.8L lens, so it's nice. Image stabilization is great, and the zoom is great. So I use it for sure the most. But Andy,
I'm the 135. I just am in love with that lens.
That and a 35. He kind of
I like the
bounces between the
35
two.
too, but the 135 is hard to let go of.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm guessing that 135 is a prime lens?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's the aperture on that thing?
That is a 2.0.
2.0. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's a great lens.
So, how long have you guys been at the wedding business then? When did it start?
We started doing weddings 4 years ago. 4 years ago, so 2009. Actually, well, even 2009, so 5 years ago, is when, I decided, it was first me, that I really wanted to get into the business end of photography, not just do the marketing. So we started doing family photo shoots and portrait sessions at that time. And then the next year in 2010, it was only natural for some wedding inquiries to come in. So that's when we started with the weddings.
Tell me, when you were starting out, was it a struggle with pricing?
Always.
Yeah. Does anybody ever say no to that question?
No, but it's usually an interesting journey. I like hearing the different perspectives on it. What was your biggest hurdle with pricing?
Especially coming from a self-taught primarily background, when you first start with photography, it's a real struggle to know, okay, how do you price it? Do you just kind of throw a price out there because you spent 2 hours of time and, you make some money for that time and then run with it? And so we kind of started at that place, like a lot of people do. And then as you start doing, more photos, you start to realize, okay, this actually has to be a viable business. And so for us, the biggest hurdle was making that transition from, oh, sure, I can, for $150, I can do your family photos, to, well, no, if you want us to meet you for 2 hours and you want a really beautiful product at the end of this, we have to price this differently. And so that journey and just making that mental transition and figuring out how to structure that, would be the big thing.
Well, I think finding the balance between being fair to the customer, making sure they're getting their money's worth, but being fair to yourself too.
Yeah.
Because you have expensive gear, and it's not like you spend 2 hours doing a photo shoot and then you go home and it's just all done. You go home and there's work to be done post shoot as well.
Yeah, you got all the edits and all that stuff. What do you guys like to use for editing?
We use Lightroom, Photoshop is the primary combination. We're just getting into using Photo Mechanic for our image sorting. So once the summer's done, I'll know how we like that. But I'm thinking we're gonna like that a lot.
Yeah.
It's fast from everything I've heard. So.
Okay. So, you have a marketing background, you said, right? So what have you guys done? What's been the best thing for marketing your business these last 4 years?
Well, until a year and a half ago, because we were doing a little bit of everything, some weddings, some family, some of this, some of that. We had multiple websites on the go, and in a sense, multiple little marketing avenues that we were exploring all the time, trying to get business for all these different things. So that part aside, when we decided, weddings is our thing, this is what we want to do, there was a bit of a transition that had to happen with our marketing efforts, because now it was all about getting a lot of bookings for just one thing. And the biggest thing that I've always experienced with any marketing I've done for other clients in the past is your online presence and the traffic that you are getting to your website is very, very important, obviously. And for us, we focused our efforts there first in getting our website to a point that we liked, that was professional and informative and easy to find, and then building its search engine friendliness so that we could start getting those rankings for keywords and get first page placement. That was, our big thing. And it takes some time to do that, so we started working that last fall once weddings had died down. And now we've got that first page ranking for certain keywords that we were striving for, and the inquiries are just pouring in. So I would say that's number one for sure.
Oh, you guys are speaking my language right now. I love talking about this kind of stuff. So let's dig into this a little bit. So come the fall, did you build the website yourself, or did you have somebody do it for you?
We have 3 websites. 2 of them I've built myself, and one of them is a portfolio site from a company that does sites for wedding photographers, and you just purchase the portfolio site and customize it. So that's what we use as the portfolio, and then we have basically portal websites as well linking to that.
Okay. Okay, so then what's the strategy for getting your stuff to rank and getting those keywords to rank?
Those additional sites that we have targeted them with keywords built into the domains, which was great. And then, obviously, you could talk about this forever, but how you build your website is really important, that it's fast loading, that the way, the source code of your website is compatible and friendly for what search engines are looking for. And not all websites out there work for that. We went through a lot of portfolio sites that companies offer to photographers that claimed, oh, you're going to have really great search engine rankings. And it just wasn't what it could have been. It wasn't progressing as fast. So when I started building those other 2 sites for us and, filling them with keywords and content that was relevant and doing the SEO right and making sure that I was using a site that I knew search engines were gonna like, that's when, in the course of 3 months, we went from like page 10 to page 1. It worked out really good.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was exciting.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, well, that's driving a lot of that's getting clients for you guys, correct?
Yes.
It is. Here in the Okanagan, the wedding industry is huge. It's bigger than a lot of people even here realize. And people come from all over the world, actually, to get married in the Okanagan. So local marketing has its place, and we for sure know photographers that they cater to the local marketplace, and that's been incredibly beneficial to them. But for us, we're finding this year that more and more of our inquiries are coming from Alberta, even the States. We're getting inquiries, and those people, they find you online. Occasionally, also, we've got some wedding planners, too, that send people our way. And vendor networking has been fantastic. There
Absolutely.
are so many great vendors who have really helped us out to just get the word out there that, you should use these guys, and that's been huge for us as well. So I would actually have to say that those vendors and friends of ours that are really great at what they do, they have been a huge help to us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I've said this on like the last 4 or 5 shows that are not even on the, they haven't even been uploaded yet, but it's been just an overwhelming theme of building relationships
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and and utilizing those, not just taking advantage of people, but I mean
Yeah.
really, being a person that offers value, being a business that offers value, and
Mm-hmm.
uh, and then pointing your clients even to other, there's going to be other vendors on that list, right? That
Yeah.
you can send people to, the flowers, the cakes, all that kind of stuff. That
Mm.
it's kind of that you scratch my back, I scratch yours kind of thing.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've been focusing a lot of our energies this year, along with everything else. It's been busy trying to, do all the business end of things. But one of our things is just making friends with people in the industry that are really fantastic at what they do, and finding ways that we can offer them value so that it's not just them passing work to us. Because a year and a half ago we decided the weddings are our thing. We're newer to the industry, the wedding industry
Hmm.
here, than a lot of the vendors that we recommend. And so they're busy doing however many hundreds of cakes in a year, and we have our 20 weddings coming through. And so sometimes it feels like it's a little off balance. They're sending 100 people our way and we send 20. So we're trying to find new ways to help them out too.
I see. So before I want to talk more about this, but I want to just backtrack a little bit more. Would you guys mind sharing with us maybe just one of those keywords that you guys rank for, and kind of the step by step that you took to get to that point?
That's you.
Yeah, that's all me. Um, well, for me, we don't have a lot of keywords right now that we're ranking very high. But obviously, it's very important for us to rank based on the city and the region that we're in. So we started with the city because there's a lot of photographers here, and we wanted to know that when somebody's searching for a wedding photographer in Kelowna, that we're coming up. And so we have Kelowna. Kelowna photographer is one of our domain names, and that one has been upping the ranks quite quickly because it's got those keywords in there, and we've structured the site around those. And then we also have actually just our jessica-andy.ca website. Also, I've just built the keywords to be Kelowna wedding photographers, Kelowna wedding photography, Okanagan wedding photography, and that's where we're starting to see our numbers, is with those words.
Okay, so you're mentioning your location with photographer at the end of it, so that Google will see that and start putting you higher up on their in their search results.
Yeah, I've spent a lot of time poring over what people are looking for, and we have run Google Ads as well. In the wintertime, we ran some Google Ads and then looked at the results. What were we getting clicks from? And most people that were seeing our ads and clicking on our ads had searched for a wedding photographer in Kelowna. That was by far the most common thing that we were observing. So, I mean, there is others, but that was a natural starting point for us to just take that and run with it.
So, and just because I'm not sure that everybody listening is going to understand exactly what these keywords are and stuff, so I want to make that really clear. So basically, what you just said is that people were searching for wedding photographers in Kelowna. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
they
And
were.
so what you want to do is you want to get that phrase, that group of words, those are the keywords,
Yeah.
onto your website in as many places as possible. I mean, from my understanding, you can put that in blog posts. You can in the
Hmm.
pictures that are in blog posts, you can actually put that those keywords into those pictures as well, and
Yep.
so on and so forth. Is that correct?
It is, yeah. I mean, you can use your alt tags for your images. That's very important on your website and when you're blogging images, because those start to show up in search results as a photo when people are
Yeah.
looking for things. So yes, by far that's definitely important. Getting links incoming to your website is huge as well. But that takes time to get organic, good links coming to your site from reputable sources. So yeah, so I mean, we're working on that, but the first starting point was, your keywords, your meta tags, your meta title and description, making sure that, I mean, I don't want to get too far into it, but there's a lot of different things to building your website that kind of all need to fit together. You know, and there is a thing as being too keyword rich as well that can work against you. So simplifying it to something that's focused on just a few keywords is also really important.
Yeah, I mean, I think Google's goal is to try to get as human as possible, right? So that it it updates all the time. There's been like the Panda update and different things like that, and
Yeah.
I know of entire businesses built on just, you know, keywords and ranking on that first page of Google that have completely tanked because Google was like, "Hey, look, we figured out that you're just trying to fool the system, and
Right.
we got you." So, do you have any tips on getting some of those links from outside sources coming into your site?
Blogging is huge, obviously. Blogging, it's hard to do consistently. You know, we still fall behind our goals all the time. And, you know, it's getting better as time goes on, but I know from experience, from years doing photography, blogging was kind of, oh yeah, we should blog, and because it's been 6 months. You know, we had no consistency to it, and it's getting more consistent for us now. And so you can, you know, be linking back to your site a lot through your blogs, and if your images are being found when people are searching, you know, for certain locations that they want to get married, and all of a sudden your photo pops up and they see, oh, this is linking over to their site. You know, those kind of things obviously are huge. Directories, we've had some success with directories, not huge, but I mean, you know, the more the merrier, right?
Every little bit helps.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. Have you guys done any guest blog posts or anything like that?
Not yet. We are working on that though. This, you know, again, there are so many moving parts towards building the business, refining our processes, making sure that our gear is where we wanted it to be, marketing ourselves, all these different things, you know. So we're fitting those pieces together, and this year working now throughout the summer and fall on getting published. Hopefully we'll go after a few awards. Who knows what will happen there, but trying those kind of things and getting our name out there, and definitely guest blogging, yeah, we'd like to do.
Well, I know of a website that is always looking for guest bloggers. It's my website. So I'm just throwing that out there. So
there we go.
Well, very good. This is great information. I really appreciate it. Do you guys? I mean, probably one of the simplest things to do with your website, and one of the first things you should always do, is go into Google Places, right, and get set up that way.
Yeah. Yeah, and we've done that. Google Plus, I think, has probably been very good for us with Google, you know, because our company is represented as a page, and we occasionally post things to that, even just promoting blog posts that we've done. So definitely that's been good too.
Yeah. Have you used any other social media? Has there been other means that have helped get you some clients or get at least more eyes on your brand?
Twitter has been really great so far.
It's been not as far as getting bookings. I think more just that vendor interaction. It's been good for that.
Okay.
And building a name in the community. You know, our city is only 100,000 people.
110,000.
Anyways, so it's not super huge here, you know. So over time, as we network and connect and banter back and forth with people that are business owners and family people, and you know, those things, that's building a bit of a brand for us, that recognition. And so occasionally, already, we've only been doing Twitter for 4 months, 3 months,
6.
We started in the spring, I thought. I don't know. Anyways, it's this year we started going after Twitter. But already I'm having people mention, oh yeah, I heard of you on Twitter. We've had that happen a few times. So it's obviously, you know, been good to get that out there. And we do get website traffic from it because people do visit our website actually as well.
Sure. What have been some what have you guys done to grow a following on Twitter?
Just be really friendly. You know, we've taken the time to understand hashtags and how those work.
Yeah.
And just posting information that's fun and personal, not a lot of business jargon. We pretty much stay away, except for an initial introduction when we first connect up with somebody.
Yeah, I think even just searching topics that interest us and commenting to people, and it just starts a conversation and just goes from there.
Have you guys searched any like hashtags that would point to like your city or your area that would get locals to be following you on Twitter?
Yeah, I mean, when things happen locally, events are happening, even just games
Yeah.
going on in the sports world, we'll find what people are talking about, what's trending, and we'll just jump into that conversation. So we try
Yeah.
to do that locally with things that are happening here. So that's been good. And then also, following people here. We've spent hours of time researching, different businesses and individuals here that we'd really like to connect with, and you send an invite and make an introduction, and then it kind of goes from there too.
I see. That's awesome. That's awesome. So let me ask you, do you guys is there much of a struggle with competition then, or do you find other photographers pretty friendly and kind of working together?
Very friendly.
Hmm.
It seems like, not seems like, it is the wedding community in the Okanagan, in Kelowna especially where we're based. It seems to be a very friendly,
Hmm.
polite crowd. Not a lot of cutthroating or anything like that
No.
going on, at least that we've experienced.
Yeah, no, there's very talented photographers here, and they've passed some weddings our way, and we've done the same for them. And there's a few people that if we have something we're trying to figure out and we just think, we don't really know what to do, we'll throw a question out there, and they're happy enough to give an answer. And so yeah, it's been on that level. It's fantastic.
How have you guys met some of those people? Has it just been through just like I don't know, just organic interaction, or has it been? Do you guys do any like shows or um, like bridal expos or anything like that?
We've never done a show, and I don't know if we will or will not, but in the future.
That one's still up for discussion.
Yeah. But there's actually a couple of wedding photographers here that I don't know how long ago, at least a year back, maybe more, took the reins and just formed a group for Okanagan-based wedding photographers. And they meet together. They try to get together 2-3 times, I think, through the winter. And there's, Facebook groups and communities where you can keep in touch with each other and ask questions and, throw information out there. So
Okay.
that's been the number one way for us.
All right. We're gonna switch gears now just a little bit, and maybe you could share some advice just for growing a photography business. Maybe some of the things that you guys have done.
We're not sitting here gonna say like we know it all, because we haven't done this for a super long time. One thing I can definitively say we have learned, thankfully, fairly early on, and I hope we never forget, is just that it needs to be a fairly slow process. Like, by all means, go out there, get your name out there, be somewhat aggressive in a friendly way, do those things, but don't expect instant success, and don't overwork yourself because you're striving for something to happen that is just not realistic for it to happen right away. We've tried to pull back a lot the last couple years and enjoy our life,
Absolutely.
and have separation between business and personal life too.
Oh yeah, I like the idea of just slow, steady growth.
Mhm.
So that's where it almost feels like with what we've done in saying we've branded just towards weddings. Really, is starting over, and it's
Yeah, it was.
figuring out what is our foundation, and
Mhm.
and building that and making sure that it's rock solid. And that is what I would say is the biggest thing is if you're going at this as a career, you have to build a business. Camera knowledge, flash knowledge, lighting, all these things, you need that, but you need to have a business and run it like a business. And make sure that when the government taps on your shoulder, you pay your portion.
Oh, that too.
Great advice. So this sounds like this is common for me too. It's kind of like you get your camera, you're excited, you start shooting everything in sight, right? And
Yeah.
any jobs that come your way, you take them. But you guys found that weddings were like where your strong point was. So
Mhm.
that's what you pursued.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, for sure. And I think there is a place for trying out different types of photography and, initially, and some people do it their whole career long, but at least initially doing a little bit of a few different things. I see a place for that, and it served us well for a while to kind of get our feet wet and, all those different experiences still combined to our knowledge applied to wedding photography. But when you hit a point where you realize my clients, when I do this service, they are all happy. I had fun. I can do this well, and I'm passionate about it. We just thought, why don't we dive in with both feet and put everything else kind of to the side and really focus on doing this well, really, really well, and getting ourselves to a point where this can sustain our lives and we can do it together, which is really awesome.
That was a
too.
big thing, doing it together. We've wanted a career we could do together. As nuts as some people may think that sounds.
We usually work together pretty good.
Yeah, my favorite second shooter is my wife. That's it's been
Oh, yeah.
just awesome the few times that we've been able to do that. So I totally understand where you guys are coming from, and it's great having that support, right, from your spouse.
Absolutely. We have a lot of fun together too, and we're not polar opposites by any means, but obviously everyone has bits of different personality in there, and so being together on a wedding day, also being a man and a woman, we can interact with a couple and their family and the wedding party in two very different ways, and they complement each other well, so we have a lot of fun.
What would you say? And this is kind of this might be a little bit out of left field or whatever, but what would you say is one of the most important aspects about being a wedding photographer? And I mean, aside from understanding your gear and all of that stuff, like, what do you think is a very important trait to have as a wedding photographer?
Trait to have.
Capture raw moments.
I think I've spent a lot of time poring over this. We have a little guide that we send out to brides sometimes on things that they should be considering before they find a photographer. And incidentally, sometimes that points them to us, and other times it doesn't. But one of the things that I think is really important is personality is really important. That you're going to connect well with that couple. Assuming your gear, lighting, have the technical knowledge, and that you also have a creative eye for photography. The next step is your personality, and can you handle a wedding day, which is very unpredictable, and very diverse. You're dealing with a lot of emotion, a lot of different things going on. Can you handle that and enjoy it?
Excellent.
You can.
Yeah, we can. And you know what? Even just to further that, and maybe you touched on it and I missed it, but just being able to, I think, you did touch on it. Just be personable and make sure that you're contributing to having a good wedding experience, not being demanding, not overbearing as the photographer, making sure that you are enhancing the day.
Yeah, we try, I guess, further on that, we try to take an approach that is, very in charge and organized, but when the moments are happening, we're in the background, we're letting the day unfold and just documenting it and letting people be people and trying not to come into the way of that interaction, and that's been a really good approach for us that works really well to get those images that you want.
Yeah, it's excellent advice. And Andy, I like what you said right after I asked that question too. Is just shooting and capturing those. I think you said those raw moments.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just
yeah.
Thinking out loud.
But it's true. Like it's easy as a photographer to think, oh, I could improve this by moving them, and there's a place for that, and we do that. Couples will often come to us and say, we don't like being in front of a camera, just tell us what to do. And of course, we are working with every unique couple in the best way we can. But as much as possible to back off, which is why we really like those long lenses too.
Yes.
And just not impede with what's going on and not try and make it perfect. If their watch is a little off, but there's a real moment happening, oh well, we're going to capture the moment for what it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're going to remember, right? They're going to remember.
Absolutely.
It's going to take them back to that point of whatever was happening, and that's what's so great. One of the things I love the last wedding I did. Do you guys get a lot of rain where you're at?
Not
No.
as much as there.
No.
Okay, yeah, we just get hammered. So this couple got married in March outside, and I mean it was crazy. So thankfully the place they got married had a lot of covered areas. The place where we did like most of the formal pics and kind of just the bride and groom together was in a hayloft, and it was a country wedding, and so it all worked out great. But one of the things I really loved about the whole experience is as I was posing them or getting different shots, looking at the bride's Pinterest board and then posing the shots and stuff that she wanted, my wife was running around in different areas just snapping shots of the couple together, and she captured some truly just genuine moments of them just kind of laughing together or even just the different angles, and I really love that. Do you guys experience similar
Very
situations?
Very
similar.
much.
Yeah. I tend to be in those moments where family portraits are happening and photos with the bride and groom. I tend to be the one who's, talking with them and giving some posing direction and, getting things happening. And Andy's usually roaming about doing
Yeah.
exactly that.
Exactly that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the approach we tried to have too.
Yeah, it adds a lot to the value of the product you're delivering, and I don't
Hmm.
know. I love the fact that as I was going through those pictures for the last wedding, I was just like I was so stoked at the stuff that she was able to come up with.
Yeah, yeah, it's great for sure.
Even the different like the lighting that I had as I was shooting them was all pretty much direct straight
Hmm.
on them, whereas as she's moving around in this hayloft, I mean you can imagine it's just a the barn door was open basically. That was our one
Oh
source of
wow.
light. And so
Right.
as she would move to the side, she'd get dark shadows on one side of a face, or and it
Yeah,
just it made for
creating some
some.
mood.
Yeah, exactly. It was
It's
really
neat.
great. um if you guys don't mind sharing with us, what's been one of your maybe one of your biggest failures that you've learned from as you've been on this journey?
There's not like a huge thing that stands out. Well, you know what there is for me. For me personally, I was so passionate about seeing photography become something I could make money at and do often because I really loved it. And so in those beginning years, I also had my marketing company on the side. I mean, I dove into it with at the cost of everything else. I didn't sleep a lot of nights. I was just studying, practicing, shooting, this for free, that for free, going out and just burning myself out. And you do crash after a while, and it's just you kind of go into shutdown mode. And so it wasn't anything huge. It's not like I had a mental breakdown, but I just all of a sudden I hit this point where I thought, what am I doing? And Andy even, he'd been saying to me for a while, this is just ridiculous. I mean, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. If it takes 5 or 10 years to get where you want it to be, that's what it's going to take. Don't work so hard. And so that was definitely, something that I would say to other photographers is just don't forget to enjoy your life, and let things happen in a natural way. And yeah, so that would probably be the thing that comes to my mind.
So there's a definite frustration with just the amount of time it was taking to get things off the ground.
Yeah. Well, because there's a lot to learn, and
Yeah.
the marketing, it takes time to figure out. I mean, I quickly learned the marketing I had been doing for clients was very different than the photography industry. And then I stepped into weddings and photography and family stuff, and it was a complete learning curve. So, you got that, and you're trying to acquire these skills and get your name out there and build a portfolio, which takes time to find those people that are going to just really work great with you so you can get those portfolio images you're looking for. So all of that, I mean, it does take a lot of time. And so I don't think I was necessarily frustrated. I was just so excited and so
Yeah, I
gung-ho
think that's
that
good.
I was
Yeah.
very zoned on it. Too much, though, to the point where, it kind of consumed me, which you don't want that to happen because in the end, it still is a business as well. So I had to pull back and kind of take a year to reassess. And that's when we hit that point of thinking, okay, we're going to do one thing. And, if it takes us 3, 5 years, that's what it's going to take. But we're going to find best processes, all the best gear. We are going to set ourselves up so that we can do this, love what we're doing, and do it really, really
Do
great.
it well. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. That's so great. Like, I love that you were so focused, but then you realized, like, I gotta chill out a little bit here, and I gotta just. It almost seemed like you refocused that energy just into the business and picking that single niche and then just crushing it.
Yeah, that is what
That
we're
is
trying
it.
to do.
Yeah.
And when you take time to go to the beach and hang out with your friends and go on a date night and do those things and sleep well at night, your business starts to grow and thrive because you actually have the energy and clarity of thought to really do it the right way. So that was a real turning point for us.
Well, yeah, because now when an effort is made, it's made at 100%, not at 50% because
You're running dry.
so tired.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Well, and it's just, I mean, we've all been in those situations in life where we're maybe wearing too many hats and we just get stretched too thin.
Absolutely.
And you can't do anything. You can't do anything excellent when you're only giving it a small percent of what you have.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess one of the things we could really take away from this is, like, no matter where you are with your photography, if you enjoy doing families, then really focus on families. If you enjoy doing seniors, then really put the effort into seniors. And the great thing is, it doesn't mean you're not, if you're focusing on seniors and a family calls, it doesn't mean you have to say I don't want to do it. You still have that as an option, but
Yeah.
to really focus in and really become an expert at that one area it's really, really great advice, and I give you guys props. Like, nice work.
Thank you.
So let me ask, do you have a resource that has been just been something that's really helped you, whether it be a book or a website or a combination of the two, or anything?
Yeah, there's not just one thing that really jumps out at us. We thought about that other times, and it's a combination of a lot of things. There's a really great book on guerrilla marketing that we really like, and I've read through that. It was a few years back, but read through that quite a bit and got a lot of great ideas for the business end of things and the marketing aspect. We've read multiple books and little courses and video courses and stuff by different photographers. Learning from other photographers is obviously huge, and thankfully there are some that have done it for a long time. They really know what they're talking about, and they're willing to share about their successes and failures and techniques. So just taking the time to learn from as much of that as you can has been huge for us, and I think most photographers probably do that.
Yeah, I think for me the biggest would be the hands-on of just talking with another photographer and just bouncing ideas off of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You don't by chance have the title of that book you were talking about, do you?
I wish I'd written it down. It's guerrilla marketing. I want to say David J. I could look it up.
Yeah. Just shoot me an email or whatever, and I can make sure to add it to the show notes. That's no problem at all.
Sure. That's what we'll do.
So, okay. This is the fun question. All right. And basically, I've had a couple kids reach out to me on Twitter that just had a lot of questions about getting started with a photography business, and so a couple, like one of them was a senior in high school. So if Jessica and Andy well, I know it's both of you, so it may be a little bit. You guys can each answer this question. So Jessica, I'll ask you first. If 18-year-old Jessica said, "Hey, I want to start a photography business," what advice would you give her?
What advice?
And Andy, if you think of the answer sooner, if she wants to think a little longer.
I would say focus on the business. If you want to be a photographer, I'm going to guess that you're going to have the passion to, in your free time, you're going to do everything you can to understand photography. But make sure, back to that foundation, make sure you understand business. Not that I understand everything or we understand everything, but I just think that's so key, is just to make sure you have a good, firm business plan in place.
So maybe take a few classes, get some books, something. Just make sure
Yeah,
that you
just
understand.
something, whatever. Yeah, whatever avenue interests you, books or classes or whatever. Maybe it's even getting a job in a business environment and just being a sponge and learning.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Jessica, do you
And
have a similar answer, or you got something else?
well, I feel like I'm reiterating what I've said a lot, but for me, it would just be by all means, go after it, but take the time to do it right and go to the beach a lot. That's what I would say to myself. Because probably from like 17 to 27, I kind of forgot about that aspect of life. I was too focused.
Yeah, that's great advice. I mean, you're talking about just living the only life we have. It's not,
Yeah.
and so that's excellent advice. And you can reiterate that as much as you want. So, well, guys, I appreciate you taking the time. I love the fact that you sat in your car so we didn't have to listen to screaming children.
Saving your
That,
ears.
that is that's just so great. And if people wanted to find out more about you, what's the best place to do that?
Website.
Yeah, website. They can connect with us on Twitter for sure. We're just at Jess Andy Photo is our Twitter handle.
Okay.
JESS Andy Photo.
Okay.
So that, and then our website is jessica-andy.ca. So that takes you through to our portfolio and our Facebook and our blog.
Okay. All right. Well, again, I thank you for taking the time, and yeah, you guys have a great night.
You as
Yeah,
well.
thank you again too for
Yeah.
interviewing us like this. This is great. It was fun to think about all these, all these things that you might be asking us and just talk it over together. And
Stress out.
yeah.
No.
No, we weren't stressed.
I hope it wasn't. I hope it wasn't too stressful.
No, it was good. So thank you very much.
All right. Well, you guys have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Ciao.
All right. Don't hang up yet.
Okay.
I'm going.